first let's talk about Social Security and the election, because there's new data out that I want to talk about. We've talked over the years a lot about the immense popularity of Social Security, about the fact that people want it defended, they want it expanded, they do not want it cut, they do not want it privatized. There is new data showing that to be the case, and I wanted to talk because it's so striking to me with this election coming up. And by the way, have you heard there's an election coming up? Have you seen anything in the news about it? There is, and we are, parenthetically, one of my favorite new words, parenthetically, I'm on Donald Trump's email lists, and I got an email yesterday or this week from Donald Trump, and it began, folks, did you know that there are only 50 days before the election? 50 days, exclamation point. That's less than 2 months. So apparently Donald Trump is not taking the sophistication of his voters for granted. 50 days is indeed less than 2 months. It is now even less than that, since the election will be upon us. A memo from Tom Jensen, director of the public policy polling firm. Subject: voters strongly oppose, concerned about possible Republican changes to Social Security. Turns out that voters in critical swing states really, really don't like what the Republicans have in store for Social Security. Now, Donald Trump, of course, initially was saying that he would not cut Social Security. He's waffling on that, and his staff is waffling on that considerably. But so this is still the Republican position. It's still the party's position. It's still their Senate candidates and congressional candidates' position. And the new poll covering 5 key Senate battleground states finds, and I quote, that voters are strongly opposed to a number of changes that Republicans might pursue to Social Security if they get total control of the government after this fall. Total control meaning, of course, Trump wins and they win both houses. 69% of voters say they're concerned about the changes Republicans might make, and by a 33-point margin, they say they're less likely to vote GOP this fall if they're informed about what changes Republican control could bring to the program. Simple question then. Why aren't they informed about it? As public policy polling rightfully concludes, Democrats should be talking more about Social Security. In 2014, we had pollster Celinda Lake on this program talking about the fact that Social Security is what political scientists call a valence issue. And by that, she means it is an issue that people feel so strongly about, they'll change their vote if they don't like the way a candidate feels about it. So while Hillary Clinton is out there talking about how terrible Donald Trump is, and while our Democratic senatorial candidates and congressional candidates are out fighting their way to elections, sometimes against uphill odds, why aren't they instead of making this a mantra that they repeat every day? Why isn't Hillary Clinton beating them up over Social Security? Why isn't every one of the senatorial candidates in Florida, Nevada, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, which are the states polled, beating up their opponents on this subject each and every day and hanging their own party's policy on Social Security around their necks? It's about time they did that. There's only less than 2 months left